From Washington, this is VOA News. Coming up, Syrian chemical weapons plus Musharraf banned. Hello everyone, I'm Steve Norman reporting at the White House on Tuesday. President Obama said there will be no rush to judgment on how to respond to the alleged use of chemical weapons in Syria's civil war. He said he needs more information.
What we now have is evidence that chemical weapons have been used inside of Syria, but we don't know how they were used, when they were used, who used them. We don't have a chain of custody that establishes what exactly happened. And when I am making decisions about America's national security and the potential for taking additional action in response to chemical weapon use, I've got to make sure I've got the facts. That's what the American people would expect.
Syria's UN ambassador Bashar al-Jafri dismissed allegations the government has accused chemical weapons as part of a hostile campaign by the British, French, and Qatari governments. Jafri accused the United Nations of failing to investigate the Syrian government's concern that rebel forces unleashed chemical weapons in the village of Han al-Asal near Aleppo this past March. A powerful explosion went off in Damascus Tuesday morning. The British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said the bomb blast killed at least 5 people. Tuesday's explosion came a day after Syrian Prime Minister Wael al-Halki escaped a bomb attack against his convoy on the west side of Damascus. The observatory said that blast killed 6 people, including 5 civilians. Israel is welcoming a signal from the Arab League nations supporting the idea of using land swaps to negotiate future Israeli-Palestinian borders. Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Hamad bin Jassim Al Thani said after a meeting Monday between Arab League officials and U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry that his delegation backs mutually agreed comparable and minor land swaps. Israeli Justice Minister Tzipi Livni said Tuesday that such a change would allow Palestinians to make the needed compromises to further negotiations. An Israeli airstrike has killed a Palestinian man in the Gaza Strip. It's the first deadly airstrike in the Palestinian territory since a truce 5 months ago ended 8 days of fighting that left more than 100 people dead. VOA's Scott Bob reports from our Jerusalem bureau.
Israeli Defense Forces say the airstrike targeted Haitham Mishal, a Gaza resident who they said was a member of an Islamist militant group. A spokesman for the Gaza Health Ministry said he was a policeman. The Israeli announcement said Mishal played a role in the rockets fired 2 weeks ago from Egypt's Sinai Desert that hit the southern Israeli city of Eilat. There were no casualties. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel would respond to any attacks. He says the strike is a continuation of Israeli policy of refusing to accept the sporadic firing of rockets either from Gaza or the Sinai. Scott Bob, VOA News, Jerusalem.
Saudi Arabia's oil minister says the United States is naive to think it could become independent from Middle East oil. He told an audience in Washington Tuesday that he welcomes an increase in U.S. oil and gas production as good for the U.S. economy and world oil supplies. Since the 1973 Middle East oil embargo, many Americans, including President Obama and his predecessors, have said the United States must stop depending on foreign oil. They say energy independence is crucial for U.S. national security. A court in Pakistan has banned Pervez Musharraf from seeking public office in the latest blow to the former president and army chief. The ban, issued on Tuesday in the northwestern city of Peshawar, comes just weeks after Mr. Musharraf came back from nearly 4 years of self-imposed exile with plans to run for a seat in Parliament in the May 11th elections. Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands has signed the official act of abdication at the Royal Palace in Amsterdam, making her son Willem-Alexander the first king of the nation in 120 years. Beatrix abdicated Tuesday after a 33-year reign. April 30th, or Queen's Day, is always a day for partying in the Netherlands, but this year the city of Amsterdam is putting on a special show to celebrate Willem-Alexander's investiture. For more on that story and the rest of the day's news, check out our website at voanews.com.